What if I told you the most dangerous 60 seconds of your day isn't when you're walking outside in winter, isn't when you're driving home in the rain, and isn't when you're carrying groceries up the stairs? It's the quiet 60 seconds right after you sit up in bed. You've probably had this happen more than once. You sat up, swung your legs over the edge, stood up too fast, and the room moved for a second. You held the nightstand. You waited. Maybe you laughed it off. But your body wasn't laughing. It was warning you. Research from Kyoto University's Aging Lab and Harvard Geriatric Medicine has shown that nearly half of all serious falls in older adults happen during ordinary moments inside the home, most of them during transitions of position. Today, I'll show you 6 Japanese movements and 1 quiet rule used in Japanese nursing homes to cut fall rates by nearly 40%. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell, so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Exercise 1. Hara Kokyu, the belly breath that wakes your nervous system. Before your feet touch the floor. So let's begin where the Japanese themselves begin. Not with a stretch, not with a step, but with a single breath. Because before any movement you make in a day can be safe, your nervous system has to be awake. And this first practice is the quietest, simplest way to do that. There's a small moment every morning that most older adults never talk about. You sit up in bed, swing your legs over the edge, and just for a second or two, the room feels like it tilts. You hold the nightstand, you wait, you stand up, and you tell no one. In Japan, this moment is not ignored. It has a name, and it has a remedy. It's called Hara Kokyu, the belly breath that wakes the nervous system before the body is asked to do anything difficult. After 60, your blood pressure no longer adjusts instantly when you change positions. Doctors call this orthostatic hypotension, and research from Kyoto University has linked it to nearly 1 in 3 morning falls in older adults. The reason is simple. Your nervous system needs preparation, not pressure. Hara Kokyu gives it exactly that in less than 2 minutes. Here is how it works. Before you stand up tomorrow morning, stay seated on the edge of your bed with both feet flat on the floor. Place both hands on your lower belly, just below your navel. In Japanese tradition, this spot is called the Sandan, the body's quiet center of balance. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Feel your belly rise into your hands, not your chest, your belly. Then exhale gently through your mouth for 6 seconds. Feel the belly soften. Repeat this 8 times. That is about 90 seconds. Only after the 8th breath, slowly stand. This isn't just breathing, it's a signal. Each slow exhale activates the vagus nerve, which gently raises blood flow to your brain, steadies your heart rate, and tells your inner ear, "We are ready to stand now." Japanese nursing homes have been teaching this technique for decades, and the rate of morning falls in those facilities remains among the lowest in the world. If you've ever felt that small dizzy moment in the morning and brushed it off, please don't brush off this practice. 90 seconds is a small price for a steady day. And a steady morning is often the quiet difference between independence today and a phone call your family dreads tomorrow. Now, once your nervous system is gently awake, there is something else that quietly decides whether the rest of your morning feels steady or shaky. It's hidden inside your inner ear, and it controls whether the world stays still when you turn your head in the kitchen or reach into a cabinet. The Japanese have a reset for that too, and it takes less time than brewing your coffee. Let me show you. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. Exercise 2. Me to Kubi Taiso, the eye and neck reset for vestibular health. There's a moment in your kitchen you've probably learned to anticipate without realizing it. You turn your head toward the cabinet, and for half a second, the world doesn't follow. You reach for the counter. You steady yourself, and you carry on as if nothing happened. That half second is not nothing. It is your vestibular system, the tiny balance organ inside your inner ear. telling you it is no longer responding as fast as it once did. In Japanese physical therapy, this is treated as a daily training matter, not an emergency. The practice is called Kubi Taiso, the eye and neck reset. According to research from Fukuoka University, vestibular decline is the silent cause of nearly 40% of falls in adults over 65. The good news is that this system responds remarkably well to gentle daily training. 2 minutes a day can keep it sharp well into your 80s. Here is how to practice it safely. Sit upright in a sturdy chair with your back supported and both feet flat on the floor. Look straight ahead at one fixed point on the wall. A doorknob, a clock, a corner of a picture frame. First, the eyes. Without moving your head, slowly look up for 2 seconds, then down for 2 seconds. Then slowly look to the right and to the left. Repeat this cycle 5 times. If you feel any dizziness, slow down. A small wave of dizziness here is not a problem. It is a sign your system is being gently challenged. That is exactly the goal. Second, the neck. Keep your eyes fixed on the same point on the wall. Now slowly turn your head to the right for 2 seconds, then to the left for 2 seconds. Repeat 5 times. The purpose is to teach your eyes and your inner ear to communicate again, like 2 old friends who have not spoken in a while. This isn't only about balance. A well-trained vestibular system reduces neck stiffness, eases tension, headaches, helps with reading, and even lifts the foggy feeling many older adults wrongly blame on age itself. Japanese seniors who practice this twice a day turn in the kitchen with more confidence and walk through doorways with steadier steps. These are small things, but small things are the quiet difference between living in your home and being moved out of it. Your inner ear, though, is only part of the story. The neck system Japanese elders quietly maintain is in your shoulders and chest, and it is the one that decides whether you can push yourself back up if you ever lose your footing. Let me show you how they keep it strong without a single push-up on the floor. Exercise 3. Kabe Oshi, the wall push that replaces floor push-ups forever after 60. There comes a day when you reach for the top shelf of a cabinet and your shoulder quietly reminds you it isn't what it used to be. Or you pull open a heavy glass door at the doctor's office and for a moment you have to lean your whole body into it. These aren't dramatic moments. They are small reminders, and they are easy to ignore until the day they matter. Pushing strength is one of the most overlooked abilities in older adults. It is what allows you to catch yourself when you stumble, push yourself up from the floor if you ever go down, open doors, lift grocery bags, and rise from a deep chair without help. After 60, this strength quietly leaves first, and once it goes, falls become more dangerous because the body has no way to soften them. In Japan, this strength is preserved through a movement called Kabe Oshi, literally wall push. It is taught in nearly every senior rehabilitation center in the country because floor push-ups are unsafe for older wrists, shoulders, and knees. Kabe Oshi gives the same benefit without the risk. Here's how to do it. Stand facing a sturdy, empty wall at about an arm's length away. Place both hands on the wall at shoulder height, slightly wider than your shoulders. Keep your feet flat on the floor and your body straight, like a longboard from head to heels. Now slowly bend your elbows and bring your chest toward the wall in 3 seconds. Pause for 1 breath. Then press the wall away from you and return to the starting position in 2 seconds. Keep your stomach gently engaged as if you are protecting a small bruise. Do 8 to 12 repetitions. Rest. Then, do 1 more set. If your shoulders feel sore, stand closer to the wall. If you want more challenge, step further back, but never so far that you feel pain or unsteady. Pain is not progress, steady effort is. The deeper value of this movement is dignity. You should be able to push open the door of a restaurant, hold a grandchild, carry a casserole into a friend's home, and yes, catch yourself if your foot ever slips on a wet floor. Kabe Oshi quietly keeps those small abilities from disappearing. But strong shoulders alone can only catch you after the wobble begins. The next Japanese movement works on something even smaller, the muscles that decide whether the wobble ever happens at all. And it has been hiding in plain sight at every train station in Tokyo for decades. Let me show you what it is. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. Exercise 4. Tsumasaki Pulse, the calf pump, hiding in plain sight at every Tokyo train station. Walk through any train station in Tokyo and watch the older commuters on the platform. Many will be doing the same thing without realizing it, slowly rising onto their toes and lowering back down again and again as the train approaches. They are not stretching, they are not impatient. They are practicing one of the most underestimated daily movements in Japan, Tsumasaki Pulse. In English, we call this a calf raise, but the Japanese version is slower, more deliberate, and grounded in something most American doctors don't talk enough about. Your calves are your second heart. Here is what that means. The calves contain a network of veins that send blood up from your legs back to your heart against gravity. When they are strong, blood circulates efficiently. When they weaken, and they weaken quickly after 60, blood pools in your lower legs. That is why feet swell by evening, why night cramps wake you up, and why doctors warn about clots on long flights and long days of sitting. The calves also do something else just as important. They stabilize the ankle. Weak calves mean weak ankles, and weak ankles are the silent reason older adults vaguely trip over rugs, door frames, and uneven sidewalks they once crossed without thinking. Here is how to practice Tsumasaki Pulse safely. Stand behind a sturdy chair or beside a kitchen counter, both hands resting lightly on it for support. Place your feet about hip-width apart. Slowly rise onto your toes over 3 seconds. Feel your weight transfer onto the ball of the big toe and the second toe, not the outer edges of your feet. Hold 1 second at the top, then lower your heels back down more slowly over 3 full seconds. That slow lowering is the secret. It is where the real strength is built. Repeat 15 times. If 15 feels easy after a week, try a second set. If your balance is shaky, hold the counter firmly. If your ankles ache, do fewer reps but keep the slow pace. What you are training is much more than calf muscle. You are training the pump that protects your circulation, the stabilizer that protects your ankles, and the quiet engine that keeps walking from becoming a chore. Japanese seniors do this while waiting for water to boil or tea to steep. 2 minutes, no equipment, a real gift to the body that has carried you this far. But strong calves only matter if you can use them where it counts, in the narrow spaces of your own home. The next Japanese movement is the truest test of whether your balance has aged silently. Let me show you what it reveals. Exercise 5. Ippon sen Aruki, the tandem line walk that tells you if your balance has quietly aged. There's a moment in your own home you may not have noticed becoming a habit. You walk down the hallway you have walked thousands of times, and somewhere along the way, without thinking, your hand reaches out and brushes the wall. Not because you need it, but because something inside you whispered, "Be careful." In every neurology clinic in the world, doctors use a single test to measure how well a person's balance is aging. It is called the tandem gait test, walking heel to toe along an invisible line. In Japan, this same test has been turned into a daily practice called Ippon sen Aruki, or one-line walking. Most balance training works on static balance, standing still on one foot. Real life requires something different, dynamic balance, staying steady while moving, while your head turns, while you step past a chair or through a doorway. Dynamic balance is the first to fade after 60. It is also the most trainable if you challenge it daily. Find a safe hallway. It should have a wall on one side and clear space ahead. No rugs, no cords, no shoes in the way. Wear shoes with good grip or stay barefoot if your floor is steady. Stand at one end of the hallway. Place one hand lightly on the wall. Take one step forward, but instead of stepping the way you normally would, place the heel of your front foot directly in front of the toes of your back foot. They should almost touch. Take the next step the same way, heel touching toes. Walk this way for 10 steps, then turn slowly and walk back. Keep your eyes forward, not down. Looking at the floor only makes balance harder. Trust your feet. They know more than they are given credit for. This walk teaches your body that real safety comes not from speed, but from the precision of each step. It strengthens the small stabilizing muscles in your hips and ankles, sharpens the connection between your feet and your brain, and reminds your nervous system that you are still in command. For some, this practice is also a quiet truth teller. If walking heel to toe feels harder than expected, That is information, not failure. It tells you exactly where to spend your 2 minutes a day from now on. Walking is not the only place where balance disappears after 60. There is another moment every time something falls to the floor when your body silently asks whether to bend down or leave it there. The Japanese have a way of bending that protects the back for a lifetime. Let me show you. Exercise 6. Ojigi Hinge, the Japanese bow that protects your back for a lifetime. Something falls to the kitchen floor, a coin, a pin, a piece of bread. You stand there a moment longer than you used to, and quietly a question forms inside, do I really bend down anymore? That small pause is one of the saddest signals of aging. It isn't that the body can't bend, it's that no one taught us how to bend safely, and the back remembers every wrong bend it has ever taken. In Japan, children grow up bowing many times a day, to teachers, to elders, to strangers, even to the rice on the table. They never call it exercise, but every bow is teaching them the same thing, how to fold from the hips, not from the spine. Used intentionally, this movement is called the Ojigi Hinge. Here is why it matters. When most older Americans bend to pick something up, they bend at the lower back, rounding the spine and pressing heavily on the discs. After 60, this is the most common cause of sudden back pain, herniated discs, and the kind of fall that happens not because you tripped, but because your back seized. The Ojigi Hinge teaches the body to fold from the hips instead, keeping the spine long. Here's how to practice it. Stand behind a sturdy chair, hands resting lightly on the back. Place your feet hip-width apart, knees softly unlocked, not bent, not locked. Slowly push your hips back as if closing a drawer behind you with your tailbone. Let your chest tip forward only as your hips travel back. Keep your spine long, as if someone were pulling the crown of your head forward. Feel a stretch along the back of your thighs. That is your hamstrings waking up. Pause for one breath. Return to standing by pressing your hips forward and tightening your buttocks. Repeat 8 to 10 times, slowly. The slower you move, the more your body learns. Once this pattern feels familiar, use it every time you pick something up, even small things. The deeper value of the Ojigi Hinge is freedom. The freedom to drop a sock and pick it up, to play with a grandchild on the rug, to garden again, even if only a little. Japanese seniors who carry this pattern through their day rarely know a back spasm. You now have 6 Japanese movements, each protecting a different part of your day. But there is one more thing, a single rule that holds all 6 together. Without it, even the best movement loses half its value. Japanese nursing homes credit this rule with cutting fall rates nearly in half, and it takes only 5 seconds. Bonus tip: Sandan Kyuusoku, the 3-pause rule that holds every movement together. Here is that rule. Most falls in older adults do not happen during big movements. They happen during transitions. The moment you stand from a chair, the moment you swing your legs out of bed, the moment you turn toward the kitchen. In those seconds, the body must change positions faster than the nervous system can adjust. That is where almost every dangerous fall is born. In Japan, this is so well understood that geriatric nurses are trained from their first week to teach one rule above all others. It is called Sandan Kyuusoku, the 3-pause rule. Studies from Japanese long-term care facilities show this single habit reduces falls by up to 40%. Not exercises, not equipment, just pauses. Here is what happens inside your body during a transition. Blood pressure drops for a moment. The inner ear must reorient. The eyes must refocus. The muscles must stiffen. After 60, all of this takes longer, sometimes 5 to 10 seconds longer than it once did. So we give the body what it needs, 3 quiet pauses, each one only 5 seconds long. The first pause is between lying down and sitting up. When you wake, do not rise immediately. Stay lying down for 5 seconds. Move your fingers and toes gently, then roll onto your side and from there push up to sitting. The second pause is between sitting and standing. Once seated at the edge of the bed or in a chair, do not stand right away. Sit for 5 seconds with both feet flat on the floor. Take one slow breath. Place one hand on a nearby surface, then rise. The third pause is between standing and walking. Once on your feet, do not step right away. Stand still for 5 seconds. Let your eyes find the room. Let your balance settle. Then begin to walk. 15 seconds. That is the total. 15 seconds across a single morning. They may be the most valuable seconds of your day. Most falls happen in less than 2 seconds during a transition, almost always because the body was not ready. The 3-pause rule gives the body what it asks for every single time. You do not need to remember every Japanese word from this video, but please remember this rule. It may quietly be the difference between a normal Tuesday morning and a phone call your family dreads to receive. Before we close, there is one more thing. A few important safety notes. Because the best movement is only safe when done by the right body, on the right day, in the right way. Important safety warning. Now, a few quiet but important reminders. Listen to your body before you listen to me. If you feel sharp joint pain, sudden dizziness, chest pressure, shortness of breath, or blurred vision during any of these movements, stop immediately and sit down. These are not signs of weakness. They are signals worth respecting. If you take blood thinners, have had a recent surgery, or live with vertigo, Parkinson's disease, or severe osteoporosis, please speak with your doctor before you begin. A 2-minute conversation now can protect a lifetime of independence. And one last thing, your environment matters as much as your movement. Make sure the room is well lit. Wear shoes with grip. Never slippery socks or loose slippers. Move any rugs, cords, or shoes out of your path. If this is your first time, have someone nearby or within calling distance. Safety is not weakness. Safety is wisdom. The quiet choice that shapes the next 5 years. Here is the deeper truth your body has been trying to tell you. Aging after 60 is not a sudden event. It is a slow accumulation of small stiffness, of small wobbles, of moments you brushed off because they passed in a second. Each one alone means nothing. Together, they decide how the next 5 years of your life will feel. The Japanese have understood this for centuries. You do not protect your independence with grand effort. You protect it with small, repeated, intentional care. One breath, one hinge, one slow step at a time. If you change nothing this week, your body will continue down the path it is already on. If you give it just 10 minutes a day, that path can quietly turn. The choice has not been taken from you yet. It is still quietly yours. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.